Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever this reaches us this week with me. As we're doing it, and 4 weeks in a row, 4 Sundays in a row. So we're doing well. I'm glad to see things. I can remember to do these things, but what we're going to talk about? Well, Saints and the Falcons. Well, Saints decided to basically mail it in for 3 quarters, and then all of a sudden in the fourth they decide, hey, it's time to start playing, so let's go. So, so we'll talk about that. LSU's played twice now. The game against Florida State. We're going to talk about that briefly, but I'm also going to talk about last night's win against Southern, which was expected, not covering the point spread. That was kind of expected by me. I had a feeling they weren't going to cover, but would win the game. So, with that said, we'll get into that. The game I broadcast on Thursday night, West Jefferson Buccaneers. Got their first win. Wasn't pretty, but you know what? When you're down 20-7, well, you got to do what you got to do. So there you go. So you got that going on. I'll talk about that. This new select, non-select thing, and now they went to 4 divisions, and you got schools playing in Division 1. Sure, they're going to be able to play in Division 1, and even on the non-select side. But yep, got all that. And I'll start off with, I had a friend of mine, DJ Matty Streams 19 on Facebook. He also on TikTok, that's his name too. He did a video for me and Koiki, and it's on here. So yeah, it's right here on YouTube. So you can see it right here. I think he did a really good job. He did a really, really good job. So I don't know why the collar keeps looking like it's raising up on, but it's probably the lighting in here. All right. So we'll talk about all of that, and yeah, check out everything if it's the first time here on my page. So on my channel. So so we got weekly things going on now. I'm actually doing it every week. Before I get started, kind of want to mention that looks like that the Green Bay Packers, for some reason, they just don't, with Matt LaFleur as their coach, they just don't play well in the first week of the season. I don't know what it is. They did that last year. They got skull dragged by the Saints. Right now they're pretty much getting beat by Minnesota. So there you go. Saints. Okay. You know what the fourth quarter proved? That the first 3 quarters didn't have to happen. That's what it proves. It looks like they sleptwalked through the first 3 quarters and just mailed it in. They just did not look that well. I don't know what it was, but I don't know. First 3 quarters is like, okay. And everybody's like, I've seen all the comments on Facebook. Worst starting quarterback in the league, and all this stuff is saying. They got off to a bad start. They did. 3 quarters of a bad start, but they got off to a bad start. I mean, it is what it is. You do what you got to do, but you'll deal with it. But anyway, getting to what I was saying, 3 quarters, they just looked like they thought, well, let's just get ready for Tampa Bay. It's like they took the Falcons lightly, but fourth quarter comes on, and all of a sudden, Saints offense is moving the football. The ball's being thrown around, and Olave and Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry are catching the football now all of a sudden, and things are happening. And Michael Thomas gets down after that first touchdown. I'm like, okay, I'll be honest. When the start of fourth quarter went over, I turned over and started watching some of the some of the Pittsburgh and Cincinnati game, and see what was going on there. But I came back because I was just channel surfing, going back and forth between the two games, and then saw the Saints had the ball again, and then started seeing things happening. So I'm like, okay, I think I better stay here and see what's going on. So I did. I stuck around, and it's like, man, it's like, where's this team been? All of a sudden, they go down the field. Michael Thomas gets the first touchdown. Wait, and I said, because I wrote it on Facebook, so I didn't write the F word, so I wrote Frank. I said, where in the Frank has this offense been for 3 quarters? And they got it and got it in. And then the defense gets a stop, gets the ball back to the offense, and they get it again, go right down the field again. I'm like, yeah, it's telling me one thing. This game would have been a blowout if the Saints took the game seriously from the beginning. If they would have been on point from the beginning. They just got off to a very slow start. I'm thinking to myself, I was like, wow. Dennis Allen takes over as coach, and now they become the Green Bay Packers of week 1. So, like, here we go with this. But then you got to give it to them. They came back, fought back. Then you get the second touchdown, and then why are you running that Wildcat with Mark Ingram? The one that should have been doing that, the guy everybody knew should have been doing it, Taysom Hill. Even the announcers are saying, why are they doing it with him? You know, Jonathan Vilma says, well, you did it with Taysom Hill before, and now you're going to do it with Mark Ingram? It's like, okay. So then they still down by 2, and I was like, well, they got to get a stop. They got to get a stop. Got to get the ball back in the hands of the offense, and then lo and behold, they did get the stop. Got the ball back in the hands of the offense. Had the holding penalty, got them to the 20. So they were able to move the football. And they started moving the football down the field. And then got within, a 51-yarder for and that, oh my God. That sequence of events. Jarvis Landry, I guess Jameis Wilson thought they ruled him he was out of bounds. He wasn't. I mean, he wasn't out of bounds. Ruling was he was out of bounds. The clock stopped with 39 seconds. He snatched the ball and grounds it. You only spike the ball when you're trying to stop the clock. Not when the clock's already stopped. At first I started hollering. I said, what in the world? Intentional ground. And then when he said, because the clock wasn't running. And they're like, yeah, duh. That's when you clock it. That's when you spike it, when the clock is running. Exactly. So, bag them up, and then they get to the third down, and 23 seconds, he's spiking the football. Why? Why at that point you're spiking the football? Yeah, everybody says that, you can ran the clock down. Probably not. Because guess who was sitting on 3 timeouts at the time? The Atlanta Falcons. You'd have done something like that, the Falcons are using one of their timeouts right then and there. So then you still would have had to kick the field goal. Right. I don't know. You run the foot, right, if you run the ball. That's what everybody kept saying. If in that case, 3rd and 3, run the football. Run. But then again, think about this. Everybody keeps saying, you run the football there. This is the NFL, this is not college or high school. They're not going to stop the clock to move the chains. Then it's if you don't get the first down, it's 4th down. You clock the ball there, guess what? You turn it over on downs, and you lose by 2 points. So, what you do in that situation, I don't know. I know what I would have done. I'd have had 2 plays called, and I would have said, Jameis, you get it to 3rd down and in short, get your receivers, put them on the sidelines, and if you can get the ball to one of them, they can step out of bounds, good. If you can't, throw it out of bounds. That'll stop the clock and we'll get Will Lutz in the game. So no, you wouldn't run into that situation. It's like, no. But yeah, but that's what happened. And then they got 19 seconds. And I was like, people, don't you forget, Saints lost to the Falcons when there was only 10 seconds left in the game before. Yeah, remember Big Ben, Steve Bartkowski to Alfred Jackson? Yeah, well, some of you might be too young to remember that, but I remember it. And then Lattimore. Like, why are you holding on to the guy that's away from the action? I don't get it. That I don't get. Away from the action, you're holding the guy. Ball wasn't even going there. Overthrow, that's fourth down. But nope. Defensive holding, automatic first down. And then, what was the other? That's right. Yeah, they got Lattimore twice. They got him for that, and then they got him for when he pushed the guy. I'm like, what is wrong with you right now? So they lined up Young Wei Koo for 63-yarder, and the whole time I'm saying, don't tie Tom Dempsey. Don't tie Tom Dempsey. Then they get the block, and then somehow they win. But, guys, that wasn't the way to do it. That wasn't the way to do it today. No, that wasn't the way to do it. That was not the way to do it. No, not at all. But the way it is what it is. So they won the game. It's 1-0 going into Tampa. We'll find out what happens tonight. Hate to say it, go Cowboys. But that doesn't really matter. If they win, they win. They lose, they lose. Not going to hurt the Saints. But be nice to see them lose and come in a game 0-1. That would be nice, but LSU. And I took a lot of time on the Saints. So LSU, we know what happened in the Florida State game. I'm not even going to rehash that. That was probably expected. Did it surprise me? It did a little bit. It didn't really surprise me a lot. But for them to work all the way back and then get the extra point block. So, it happens. Things happen. So you go with it. But last night they played Southern. Yeah, you expect them to win big. But I was kind of looking at towards the end of that game like, okay, Southern's going to kick the field goal here and then the LSU's not going to cover the spread. But they didn't cover the spread. Whoop-de-doo. They won the game. I saw some improvement in a lot of areas, but of course they were playing Southern. Let's see when they play a bigger opponent. We'll see what happens there. But the biggest takeaways from that is the fact that LSU and Southern have never played each other. That's the first time they ever played each other. That was a big thing. And then seeing the Golden Band from Tigerland and Human Jukebox side by side, mixed in with each other, and had the Heart 225. I loved it. Now they picked the Cupid Shuffle as a song. Yeah, Cupid Shuffle. Cupid's from Louisiana, but he's from Lafayette. But that's okay. We honor the 225, and you get picked a song from an artist from the 337. So what? It was still a good choice. I liked the song. I liked the song in the first place, but yeah, is that. So, that was good. That was history making. That was but remember, this is the second time that Southern and LSU bands did get together and play together. The first time was in 2004 at the State Capitol building when the two bands got together and played while they celebrated both teams' national championships. Southern's national championship, the Black National Championship, and then I know it, I said it wrong. It should be the HBCU National Championship. Yeah, that's what they won. They won the HBCU National Championship, and then LSU won the National Championship in the BCS, back down with BCS too. Right. So you had that, and well, I mean, it is what it is, and they were able to get, I think they got better. I think LSU got better week to week, but from week 1 to week 2. But as bad as they played in that first game against Florida State, they still could have won that game. So there's that. But yeah, did I see improvement? Yeah. But I see why Jaden Daniels is the starting quarterback. I think that was obvious. I think Nuss made too many mistakes. So there's that. Including the pick 6. So yeah, he threw a pick 6. But it is all right. West Jefferson. I did the game Thursday night, and I did the first half with Ernie Waits. I went solo for the second half. Obviously, West Jeff was coming off of the. They were coming off the, Jamboree week, losing that one 35-0, and then losing 56-7 to St. Paul's the next week. Offensively, things just didn't get right. Either one of those games. I mean, but then we get to Thursday night, and once again, the offense is struggling most of the way. They're struggling until we get to midway to the third quarter. Bucks find themselves down 20-7. Okay. They find themselves down. Or 20-6. 20-6. That's right. They missed the first extra point. So towards the end of the third quarter, the offense finally starts to move the football. They get in, score a touchdown. That was Malachi Leonard, the running back, runs it in, gets a touchdown from 8 yards out. And then 2-point conversion. They said, let's go for 2. Well, they throw the ball lands right in Leonard's hand. He drops it. He catches that, you get 2 more points. But it's 20-12 now. So, okay, no big deal. So we get to the fourth quarter. At this point, the defense is starting to learn how to stop, what H.L. Bourgeois wanted to do. And they started shutting it down. So the offense gets the ball back. They go right down the field, score a touchdown, and go for 2, and didn't get it. So at this point, it's 20-18. Okay. Defense gets another stop. Gets the ball back to the offense. And they get that. They got it. That's when they got the first interception. Yeah, the Bucks got the first interception. What was it? Charles Williams, yeah. Runs it back all the way to the 14-yard line. Well, the defender's player started jumping up and down, acting foolish. Obviously, they scored. I mean, they didn't score, but they got the turnover. And they do that. And then, of course, flag comes out for unsportsmanlike conduct. So, ball gets moved back to the 29-yard line. Okay. No big deal. First play, we'll have a 1-yard loss on a running play. Then the next play, Huey Cole throws the ball deep to the end zone. Well, it hit the hands of one of the West Jeff receivers, and then one of the H.L. Bourgeois defenders knocked it up. Well, then Justin Vaughn goes up and grabs it, comes down with it. Helmet comes off and all that stuff. But go for 2 again. This time Huey Cole tries to run it. His feet slip out from underneath him at the 5-yard line. I'm starting to wonder, when those turfs are new, if this slick areas are where they slip. And because he slipped right at the 5-yard line, but people slipping all night, Thursday night. So I don't know. Maybe, like I said, maybe there's some slick sheen surface or something until it works it off. where they got spots where you slip. And, well, you know, it is what it is. I see I'm going long. That's all right. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and finish up and wrap up. But they got the win. That was the main thing. Didn't get any of the three 2-point conversions nor the first extra point. But, you know, you come back and you score 18 unanswered points to win the game, which is obviously good. They came back from behind and won the game. So West Jeff's now 1-1 on the season. They play Higgins on Friday night, which is now a non-district game because Higgins is in 4A. So there you go. And then the mostly Jefferson Parish 4A district because you got Helen Cox, you got Shaw, you got Higgins, but you also got Riverdale, and you also got LB Landry. So yeah, you got those. So it is what it is. You got that, and fine, everything's fine. So so they play Higgins, and that'll be on Jam Sports Network, and of course we're by East State Sports Saturday on Saturday. So that's what we got going on. Saints pulled it out. LSU even their record. West Jeff even their record. So I'm ready to rock and roll. And yeah, that's going to do it. I realized I went long. I just try to keep them within 16, 17 minutes at the most, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and end it now. And like I say all the time, God willing, I'll talk to you again in a little while. Bye now.